How's it going, VC? Dusty back for another episode here, Seeking a Thread. As you know, as I've been talking about, I like to do a radio show every week here in Ithaca at WRFI Community Radio, and this channel is sort of reflecting that a little bit. I want to get into some of the things I've been playing, will be playing on the radio show, and you can follow that show and listen to it at the links below. And last week, and maybe again this week, I might be playing, I've been diving into the Krautrock, the German progressive music that I have, and it's always been one of my favorite genres, or subgenres, shall we say, in the psychedelia movement. And I figured I'd start showing some of these records again. I'm probably going to have to do this in 3 parts. There's a bunch to show, and a bunch I've been sort of like re-investigating. Maybe some that may not stick around. I always like to sort of trim the flock a little bit, or narrow the flock, cull the flock. But thanks for watching, and I hope you see some cool stuff, and check out the radio show if you get a chance. So I'm gonna go A to Z. We're probably not gonna get too far into C after C on this one. Here's the one Agitation free record I have. This is a reissue on the MIG label, which I believe is Manuel Gottsching's affiliate, or his label in itself. And this, as you might guess, does contain some sort of Middle Eastern field recordings and some of that influence in there. I will say this is not an amazing album, but I ended up grabbing it just because it does have some really interesting stuff to it, but it's not sort of the absolute top tier, I would say, but quite good. And I do not have any other records of theirs. This is the one I have. If I see the other ones, cheap reissues maybe, these originals are pretty nuts, so reissue will do. Moving into Amman Dual. This is Amman Dual proper. This is what is effectively their first LP, Collapsing. This is a German original on the Metronome label. Heavy drums. It was basically doing like drum experiments with some guitar squall and stuff like that. And this was the first incarnation of the band, and then some of them would split off and go to Amman Dual II. But this was all part of like one recording session. I'm going to show sort of the other ones I have. This is from 1970, I think it is, or 71. Really far out stuff. Heavy, as I said, heavy drums. Almost beats you over the head with it. Sort of a lot of distortion in the drums and things like that. It gets pretty nutty. But dig it. Big time. Here's the Amman Dual. The other Amman Dual. I guess this is effectively the second album. And this is the US version on Prophecy. Yeah, self-titled here. I believe in Germany it's called Psychedelic Something. But this is the US version here. First in the shrink with the nice insert. There. It's actually an inner sleeve. On the Prophecy label, which was a division of Bell Records, one of the many subsidiaries of Bell here in the US. Weird that this came out. And this, like I said, on the other one, Collapsing, it's basically, it seems as though it was part of the same session. More of those drum experiments, drony stuff, ahead of its time. For sure. Great cover, of course. And here's the other Amman Dual proper I have, Disaster. This is a German original. This is later. And this is a double LP. I just love the old European laminated covers, as you can see. Nice gatefold on this one too, showing a good shot of the band. Love it. So yeah, my show, Searching for a Thread, I just called the most recent episode the Kraut Sound from Way Out, and I'm recording them at home because the studio that I record them in typically, of course, is closed with COVID, and so everything has to be done at home, and so my vinyl setup is a little bit, for recording radio, I have had to change it around a little bit, so it's sort of been off and on with vinyl, so I'm using some digital sources for that, but it's all coming from my sort of interest or knowledge of these records, so check it out. It's like available in multiple places. And I'm always on the lookout for more German originals if I can get them. Yeah, so Amman Dual II. This is the UK version. Yeti. This one gets like sort of more traditional heavy psych, we could say, on the Liberty label. Double album. Nice cover, of course. It's got that UK style textured sleeve. This one is heavy on the guitar. That's maybe what Amman Dual was going for. More of a traditional heavy psych vibe. But this one definitely gets cosmic too. And just the iconic cover. That's the UK Liberty. This is a German first of Phallus Day 2. I'm sorry, Phallus Day. Amman Dual 2. I got this for a great deal not too long ago from a seller in Brazil. One of those situations where if I bought it here, which probably isn't going to happen in the US or in Germany, it would have been way higher. But for some reason in Brazil, I took a chance on a description or grading that looked sort of like it would be below grade, what I would usually be into. But what the description said seemed like something else, and I was willing to try to take a chance getting it from Brazil, and it worked out. Nice copy. And it's not Brazilian, this is German. On Liberty, and it has the sort of poster flat insert. Yeah, it's just a two-sided insert, sort of thick, almost like a poster flat. Yeah, these two Amman Dual records are mind blowers. Still looking for the third album, the other one after. AR Machines, the Grün Ries. I guess it's the Green Rose, and the Green Journey. This is a later English pressing, I believe, on Polydor. No, this is German, but I know it is a later press. Great stuff on this. Mind blowing. Mind blowing. It's like all I can say, but one I gotta listen to a little more. It's been just a few years since I've heard it. And let's see. Yeah, this is originally from '71. This Cosmic Vibration song is great, and the other one I know I've checked out is Yes, I Am Happy Adventures for the Senses, Mind, and Inclination. AR Machines. Right, the AR is, where is his name? Ah, yes. AR is Achim Reichel, who I'm sure went on to other recordings and things. I'm really only familiar with this record, so more to check out for me there. But love it. Now we get into the Ashra Temples. Recent acquisition. First press of Schwingen. And this is a Ore original. This one's heavily bootlegged, as I found out over the years. You can very, very easily find a convincing bootleg of this that apparently does not have the same sound quality. But just grabbed this one recently. It's lovely. Beautiful, serene, and relaxing vibe on this. But the music itself, very sparse, minimal at times. You really got to sit with these Ashra Temple records and be patient, because they do sort of take time to unfold. And I've mostly had this on CD. I've had the Manuel Gotching's official reissues of the first two albums on CD for a long time. So, but happy to finally add this one to my German progressive collection. Here's one I've had for a bunch of years. Shout out to Angry Mom Records, one of my place of employees. One of my place of employ. That's a shop I work at. This is the Italian version. On the, what is this label again? PUD. Yeah. There's like a 75 pressing of this, and this is originally from 72 or 70. This is one of those quad or stereo pressings. Sleeve's a little bit water damaged here, but ultimately quite nice. Again, one you really have to be patient with. Settle down and slow down and sit with. Manuel Gotching, of course, would go on to do those solo recordings that really was one of the founders in minimalism. Repetitive, sort of ambient almost. And the other one I have starring Rossi. Basically a vocal. Her vocal are the sort of star of the show. This is a later German press, I think, again on that PUD label. All Rossi Mueller is the vocalist, and I want to say that this is one I have to check out again. May not stay. I found that her vocals, this sort of had more of a traditional vibe to it, and Gotching's guitar work on it, I remember feeling like it had a little bit of a dated sound, but one I got to check out again. I might be nuts to say that, I don't know, but there they are, Manuel and Rossi. Ashford Temple. The other one, there's the one with Tim Leary, which I've never heard. I've never really checked that out. I gotta check it. So this is the one record I have my Brain Ticket. And again, one that I've got to reinvestigate. This is a bootleg. I've had this since like my first days buying records. It's whatever it is, 20 years ago maybe. Comes with a little button. And everyone always talks about Cottonwood Hill, right? Never got into it. I always found those sort of orgasm sounds throughout it just to be too, I don't know, kind of cheesy. Musically, definitely pretty bent, pretty weird. But this is, I think, their second or third, Celestial Ocean. One that needs to be played again.
All these questions and answers. What appears? 2 years. Wait still. What disappear? Egyptian kings.
Alright, so let's get into the canned records, and then that'll be the end of this part one. Limited edition, a 1974 release. This is the first UK pressing on United Artists. And this has, yes, Gamora, that track. I love that track. Love this cover. And there's also an unlimited edition, which is sort of a companion to it, I think. I gotta clean up my act on this specific record. But I know this is sort of the more desirable one. Future Days. So about 6 years ago, they remastered and reissued all of the catalog, and they did a great job. Spoon, that is. These are can official reissues, and I love these because they all come with a new inner sleeve with notes and stuff like that on it, which are not part of the original vinyl. But these are great. I think they're mostly out of print. You might be able to still get them, or they repress them from time to time. Future Days, it's just Can is just sometimes when I listen, I feel like I don't want to listen to anything else. It just hits every mark, and this is like the last great album they did, and then it gets good, but fantastic, great. This is only like 3 tracks, I think it is. I think this is the last one with Damo Suzuki. Monster Movie ×2. Yeah, I have 2 copies. I can't bear to sell any Can. This is that 2014 reissue, of course, that first album with Michael Mooney as vocalist. And this is a German first on the Liberty label. The Can. I like when they were called The Can. It's like, what if you've never heard Can, it's like everyone in the band is at the top of their game. I mean, Jackie Liebezeit is a drummer who is basically has no match. Just the most funky, interesting, groovy drumming, jazzy. Like, he's just kills it. You have Michael Caroli's guitar is great and sparse, and so he knows when to lean in, when to lean back. Holder Shukai, the bass sometimes like Iggy Bamyasi, just again knowing when not to play. Fantastic. Irvin Schmidt, just everybody in the band is just incredible. And then Damo Suzuki just coming up with he's almost the most absurd member, but I couldn't imagine anyone else with him. But Michael Mooney, the first vocalist, the American, he's great too. So I can't sell the reissue. I just can't do it. Soundtracks. I only have the 1 soundtracks. These are their, like I said, soundtracks. What their first cover, which is such a cool cover. I love this one too. That's a super rare edition. But this again is that Spoon reissue from 2014. And Tago Mago, of course. Gotta have Tago Mago. Double LP. Super incredible, freaky, mind blowing. As you can see, the mind is being blown. I do prefer this to the UK cover, which is a cool band shot. Well, I don't know, maybe they're both great. But again, I'd recommend these Spoon reissues, I guess, or they're really Mute and Spoon, 2014. If these are still available, they're great. They all have download cards, they're printed inner sleeves, and they sound awesome. And yes, Iggy Bamyasi, I do have 2 of those, the 2014 remaster and the German first on United Artists with the nice printed inner. I got this, it was all wrinkled. Well, not wrinkled, but it was like folded up. But the vinyl on this is kind of a VG, maybe VG plus. It's a little, not great, but good. A little bit of surface noise. The sleeve is, got some wear, the old price tag, which I kind of dig. And but good. There's definitely some surface noise, but like I said, it doesn't take away from the music at all. UA. And it's got the Made in Germany and the Dead Wax can. God bless you. 1 more can. No, 2 more cans. I do stop after a time with can because I do feel like it just gets to a place where it just can't exceed the quality to what they were doing, and some of them are pretty good, but it just there's a certain run of that run of can records there's really no point listening to the other ones. I guess maybe it's a little harsh, but I know that I have these, and these really fit the bill. So this is Delay. This is also more stuff with Michael Mooney. I believe this came out in the 80s. Yeah, this was produced at Inner Space in 68, 69. This is an 80s press, and it's from 68. And it's just more stuff with Michael Mooney on vocals and the rest of the band. I don't think this is the first version of it. This is the first can record I ever got, actually. Probably got this at Kim's, R.I.P. in Manhattan. That's my guess. And the most recent can, or the latest can album I have, is Sunovu Babaluma. It's a U.S. original, the only U.S. original I have on the United Artists label. And this is sort of, I bring this, make this sort of comparison to Pink Floyd after Syd Barrett and before really David Gilmour takes over. Sort of that middle, that period where they're sort of trying to find their way. Because this is just the quartet. And Michael Caroli, the guitarist, is doing vocals on some tracks. And there's violin on this. First time you hear it, you're kind of like, I don't know. But it kind of slowly sinks in and sort of hooks you. It actually mentions Pink Floyd in the back here, but this is a whole thing about the little write up on the back here, trying to tell the U.S. market all about Can. I like the silver sort of feel to this, and the Dizzy Dizzy, the first song, is the one I come back to the most. Far Out stuff. Alright, so that's A through C in my Krautrock. Should be 3 parts of this, maybe 4. Always looking for more. Thank you, VC, the Vinyl Community, my second video. I'm sort of just getting into this. Really want to talk about some of the music I have, or appreciate it and evaluate it more and share it, and always appreciate any comments anyone has about any of these records or other ones I might have missed that I should have from A to C. There's more. And again, you can find my radio show at mixcloud.com/searching for a thread. It's available at Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Amazon, streaming there. It's all over the place. Check it out. Approaching 300 episodes. And yeah, thanks for watching. Who doesn't like Krautrock? Who doesn't like German progressive music? The Kosmishi, I guess it is. Anyways, take care and hope you're well on this Thanksgiving, actually. Happy Thanksgiving.